Hey stock and options traders, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Karl with a K. And I've been trading stocks and options online since the mid-1990s. If you're here to learn about trading or to figure out if a stock or options course on YouTube is worth the money, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, one of my goals is to change this industry. I want to change the buying criteria when anyone wants to buy a stock or options course on YouTube. If promises are made by a YouTube instructor when selling a course, then I believe they should prove their credibility. And I see only one way to prove credibility, and that is to share P&L. Not only share P&L, but also share the account P&L volatility, which means how much did the account value move up or down? If your account made 20% return, but it was down 60% at one point, then the 20% return is not a good return on risk. Sharing the P&L volatility is important because risk-adjusted returns are the real truth. And this is why I share my P&L and I show my daily moves of my P&L. Now, I would not buy a course from a YouTuber that makes promises without sharing their P&L, and I hope you won't either. In this video, I'm going to go over my real P&L for the month of February 2021. I'm going to share my real P&L for the month of February 2021 for my two separate accounts. And before I get into the P&L, I want to briefly go over what the market did in February. This will give an idea of what my trading systems had to contend with over the last month. My question always is, what type of market was the month? In my book, I go over the 4 types of markets for premium selling options traders. And that is what my 2 separate systems are set up to do. They are set up to take advantage of the difference between implied volatility and actual volatility by selling option premium. Now, the 4 market types are: number 1, the rising bull; number 2, the sideways market; number 3, the grind down market; and number 4, the crash market. So let's take a look at February 2021. Okay, so in February we started here. Here's the end of last month. We had a high, went up about 6.29%. Very consistent uptrend, and then we went down consistently. We went down about 3.5%. So 6% up move, 3.5% down move. Pretty consistent move. It wasn't very choppy. And the fact that we're up 2.63, 2.5%, I would have to call that an upward market, because if you go up 2.5% for 12 months, I mean, you're up about 30%. So that's basically a rising bull market. But it had a kind of interesting thing to happen at the tail end. You can see that the volatility, and remember, volatility is a key element when assessing an options portfolio, because volatility has a direct impact on the price of options. And the way I like to check volatility also is to look at the VIX. So let's take a look at that. And you can see, let's see here, here's kind of the end of the month. You can see at the end of the month, the VIX spiked pretty good. Came from about 21 up to 30 at one point. Up, just in the last couple of days, it's up 30%. So that's a significant spike in volatility. This little spike right here is going to hurt a lot of premium sellers. But again, overall, we're looking at a rising bull market with a spike in volatility. So those usually don't go together, but that's the kind of market we had in February 2021. Next, I will get into my P&L. First, in my smaller account where I trade the 5-step options trading success program. This system is proprietary and took me over 3 years to develop, as I kept racking my brain trying to replicate what I was doing in my larger portfolio margin account. I wanted to replicate this system in a regular margin account. I backtested over 300 different trade plans until I finally came up with a successful system that I could trade in a smaller account that outperforms the S&P 500 with lower P&L volatility. And I make these claims based on the last 10 years back-tested results along with about 8 months of trading it live. Even though it does not replicate the exact system I'm using in my larger account, it is as close as you can get. And my small account portfolio using the 5-step options trading success program is not dependent on picking a direction. So an unpredictable market does not have a negative effect on my trading system. So let me go over the results for my 5-step system. Okay, here's my account with a 5-step options trading success program. You can see that the balance is $15,215. I started or ended last month with $15,115. So I'm up $100 this month. You can see that there's not a lot of volatility in the account. Here's the 1st of February, and it just oscillates here back and forth based on the bid-ask spreads of some of these things. So basically it might have been down a couple $100 at one point or up a couple $100 at one point, but that's all just has to do with the way that the bid-ask spread kind of jockeys around. But for the most part, there's really no volatility in this account, at all. Like I said, up about $100. So let's do a little math. So we know it was $100. So 100 divided by 15,115. So we had about just about a 0.5% increase in values. So the system's just kind of hanging in there, making a little bit of money, much more than in a savings account, that's for sure. But there you have it for my small account for February 2021. As I've stated before, the edge to selling option premium is based on implied volatility being higher than actual volatility about 83% of the time. The system is designed to make money in any market environment while mitigating drawdowns. In the last 8 months, while trading the system live, my highest drawdown was only 1.3%. And this is almost like a super high yielding savings account. Again, you can learn exactly how I trade in this account by purchasing the course. And I left a link in the description below. Now I will go over my larger account. This account has portfolio margin, allowing me to trade with more leverage in order to take advantage of certain trade structures. First, I will briefly go over my market view. So last month was my first down month in almost a year. January had a strong concavity downward move along with an increase in volatility. These moves all happened towards the end of the month. Now, I am planning on putting a video together this week that explains concavity and how I keep it under control in my trading system. So be on the lookout for that. When you are a net seller of premium, an increase in volatility usually means your P&L will suffer. This month's volatility had a very similar pattern to last month's, which was that the volatility significantly increased at the end of the month. And most option premium sellers are most likely down over the last few days of this month. But my account did great as the move towards upward concavity and positive theta more than outweighed the increase in volatility. And here are my results. Okay, here's my larger portfolio margin account for the month of February. You can see here that I started with well, here it says $140,000, but I actually started with $138,000 at the end of last month. But the concavity moved upward significantly the next couple of days, which I knew it would based on back testing. Very confident that it does that. So you can see basically I had no drawdowns throughout the whole month. In other words, I never got below this $140,000 mark and did quite well. Not a lot of volatility at all, unless you want to count volatility going to the upside. And ended with 151.5, which was a really good month. I had a good month, over 9.5%. And there you have it for February 2021. If you want insight on how I trade this larger portfolio margin account, you can purchase my book, A Portfolio for All Markets, or you can check out the course I took that brought my options trading to another level from Ron Bertino called Trading Dominion. And I've left a link in the description below for my book and for my review of Ron Bertino's course, and a link to purchase my 5-step course. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out.